This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The Prime Minister seeks the view to the Mahasangha on the Geneva resolution. State Intelligence Head goes to court against human rights lawyer Yasmin Zuka. Environment Minister says that environmental studies not paying attention to the Krudia Zelika tree has led to many issues. CID concludes investigations into the central bank bond scam. In world news, head of UK genetic surveillance program predicts Kent coronavirus variant could become the world's dominant strain. In sports news, the president of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics Organizing Committee offers to resign. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has sought the views of the Mahasangha about the resolution that will be submitted to the UN Human Rights Sessions next month in Geneva. A meeting to obtain their views took place at Temple Trees yesterday. Speaking on the occasion, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said a resolution has been prepared with wrong opinions with the aim of bringing disrepute to Sri Lanka. Venerable Professor Madhagoda Abetarathero said the aim of the Human Rights Commission is to divide the country. He questioned as to how ending terrorism through a humanitarian operation can be called a war crime. Venerable Bengabu Nalakathero said that freedom won through a humanitarian operation should be protected. He pointed out that the resolution 30/1 agreed upon by Mr. Mangala Samarawira has brought long-term effects on the country. Vimal Veerawangsa said it is essential to get the number of countries friendly to Sri Lanka and against the resolution increased. Mr. Professor G.L. Peris said that the usual method is to give a judgment after hearing a case, but the final decision has been taken before the judgment of the resolution in this instance, which is not justifiable. Venerable Kirindi Asagathero said that Sri Lanka should ask for more time. Venerable Nandangamawe Vijayamaitrithe Anurakatero pointed out the situation can be faced by strengthening diplomatic service, which does not act on the diaspora views, as well as by winning over foreign countries. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa expressed his gratitude for the advice of the Mahasangha. He said prominence will be given to the advice and guidance of the Mahasangha in the face of challenges before the country and act accordingly. The head of the State Intelligence, Major General Suresh Saleh, has gone to courts against human rights lawyer Yasmin Zuka, who has submitted a report to the Human Rights Commission stating that Sri Lanka violated human rights during the time of terrorism. Meanwhile, attorney at law Professor Pratibha Mahamaheba said that the report of Ms. Zuka contains many falsehoods. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that although it has been found earlier that Krudia Zerenica tree found in front of the Gampaha Darul railway station is a rare tree, attention has not been paid by environmental studies for the expressway. The minister said the present situation could have been avoided if attention was paid about the matter. The minister said that an investigation will be launched to find those responsible and disciplinary action will be taken against them. Attorney General Dappara Dilawara today requests the Chief Justice to appoint a trial at bar to try former Minister Arabika Ranaka, former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran, Virtual Treasury Limited, owner Arjun Lalashis and 8 others over the bond scam involving the Treasury bond auction of March 2016. The request came after the Criminal Investigation Department informed the court investigations into the 51.9 billion rupee financial irregularities in the second central bank bond issue against 11 suspects named the case have been concluded. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa opened today the Rajavasa Trade Complex established at the Nagarapeta Economic Centre in Colombo. Trade complex has been established by expanding the premises of the State Trading Corporation. It consists of 78 state and private trading organizations. The aim is to provide the customer with good of state and local producers under one roof, according to the Vistas and Prosperity Policy Statement. The program includes encouraging local producers and provide them with a marketplace. Mr. Mahinda Aluthkamage said that the Paddy Marketing Board will directly purchase 300,000 metric tons of paddy in the Maha season from the farmers. He said that 1.6 billion rupees have been allocated to purchase the paddy. The minister said several frauds have occurred at institutions under the Ministry of Agriculture. He said service of 7 officials were suspended in connection with the incidents. The minister revealed that many malpractices had taken place in purchasing paddy during the past and it will not be allowed in the future. Minister Mahinda was replying to an oral question asked in Parliament today by MP Tushar Indunil. Meanwhile, Minister G.L. Peri said the cut-off mark to admit students to schools based on the Grade 5 scholarship examination results have not increased improperly. The decision on cut-off marks has been taken considering the abilities shown by the students. Replying to a question raised under standing orders by opposition leader Harit Premadasa, he said those activities are taking place in a transparent manner. The second round of Sri Lanka-Japan policy dialogue at the senior official level of the two foreign ministries has been held virtually yesterday. The Minister of Foreign Affairs said the two sides discussed an array of policy priorities in the national, regional and international levels and resolved to work together in pursuing the common goals of interest. Both sides reviewed and noted key areas for expanding economic cooperation with special focus on strengthening trade, investment and development partnership and agreed to further consolidate cooperation in areas of contemporary relevance. Two sides decided to continue joint endeavours in enhancing maritime cooperation and mutual support at the multilateral fora. Sri Lanka delegation was led by Foreign Secretary Admiral Professor Jayanath Kulamage, while Japanese side was headed by Senior Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan, Mori Takio. The Court of Appeal today extended the order issued to the Secretary General of Parliament not to take any action over the Parliament seat of imprisoned MP Ranjan Ramanayake until the 16th of March. A bench comprising of Justices Arjuna Obesekara and Mayadu Nakorea gave this order regarding the writ petition filed by MP Ramanayake. President's Counsel Faiz Mustafa, who appeared for MP Ramanayake, has not been able to appear in court yesterday, and President's Counsel M.A. Sumantaran made the request to consider the petition on another date. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
Additional General Manager of the Ratmalana Main Engineering Division of the Railway Department, Kirti Hevitharan, said they hope to manufacture train compartments in the country. He said a report in this regard has been given to the Ministry of Transport. He further said there are 1,487 compartments and 584 of those have been imported from Romania. Hevitharan said that the lifespan of those train compartments had exceeded 25 years. The 107th Ratna Sutra chanting organised by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation takes place this evening from the Ruangwella Yatangwara Sri Valukarama Temple. Ratna Sutra chanting will be held under the guidance of the chief monk of the temple, Venerable Atoya Sunanda Thera. It will broadcast at 6:30 p.m. of SLB's single commercial service, City FM and regional services. And that ends local news for now.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Government Medical Officers Association said when considering the COVID-19 related data, there's a gap of 2 to 3 months between Sri Lanka and the overall global tendency. GMO editor Dr. Haritha Arutge said, although the number of COVID-19 positive cases reported globally is on the decline, the decreasing number of deaths will be shown after 2 weeks. He said globally 900,000 positive cases are being reported daily, but now it has come down to 400,000 with a percentage of 17. Arutge said decline in the number of patients in the country would become by the end of April. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhaleba.
On to Watchlight. The people in the area complained there's no Satasa outlet in Gingathena town. They say, although requests are made over the years to open a Satasa outlet in Gingathena, it has not been opened so far. They said they have to travel about 25 kilometers to Nawalapitia or Kitulgala to purchase goods sold by Satasa. They request the authority to pay attention on this matter immediately. That came to in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The head of the UK genetic surveillance program predicts that Kent coronavirus variant could become the world's dominant strain. Zambia International Monetary Fund begin discussing a loan program and debt relief. US Treasury warns of an explosion of cybercrime risk. The head of the UK genetic surveillance program predicted the coronavirus variant first found in Kent could become the world's dominant strain. Dr. Sharon Peacock told media the new variant has swept the country and is going to sweep the world in all probability. He said that work sequence variants of the virus could be required for at least 10 years. The Kent variant has already been detected in more than 50 countries. The Zambia International Monetary Fund begin discussing a loan program and debt relief for Africa's first pandemic-era sovereign default today, with the controversial mining deal, an election, and a mountain of debt to China looming over the talks. South African nations are reeling under precarious debt burdens that worsened during the pandemic, and the Southern African copper producer is viewed to many as a complex test case for international efforts to tackle the looming crisis. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned of an explosion of risk from criminals using digital technologies. She said yesterday, COVID-19 pandemic has made the problem worse because it has moved more crime online. Yellen told the U.S. Treasury Roundtable that cryptocurrencies held a promise, but they are too often used for crime. However, she said new financial technologies could help fight crime and also reduce inequality. And back to the headlines of the world news. Head of UK genetic surveillance program predicts the Kent coronavirus variant could become the world's dominant strain. Zambia International Monetary Fund begin discussing a loan program and debt relief. US Treasury warns of an explosion of cybercrime risk. That is world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development news. Cabinet ministers this week cleared the path to award the remaining tender to selected bidders, the 150-megawatt solar power project at the Ceylon Electricity Board. Ms. Darasara Perema saw the approval of the Cabinet Ministers to award the tenders to the selected bidders for the grid substations of Anuradhapura, Habarana, Mathara, Gaul, Deniyaya, Kosgama, Matugama, Pannala, Mahaba and Kurunagala for a period of 20 years. And on to sports news. Olympics. The president of the Tokyo 20 Olympic Organizing Committee, Yoshiro Mori, will resign over a sexist remark that sparked an outcry, while the former Prime Minister said he could not let the controversy drag on. Mori's resignation would be bound to raise new doubts over the viability of holding the postponed game this year. Sources said Mori would be replaced by former Japan Football Association president and mayor of the Olympic Village, Saburo Kawabuchi, aged 84. Tennis news. Chief Sophia Kenin admitted the presence of a defending Grand Slam title for the first time had proved too great after she tumbled out of the Australian Open in the second round today. The American looked the shadow of the player that won her first major title at Melbourne Park and reached the French Open final last season, and she succumbed 6-3, 6-2 to Estonian veteran Kaia Kanepi on the Margaret Court Arena. Cricket news. Today, the first day of the second test of the West Indies tour of Bangladesh in Dhaka. Batting first, West Indies scored 223 for 5 wickets at close of play today. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
LOLC Holdings yesterday announced a plan to raise up to 10 billion rupees via a listed debenture issue. The company planned to issue 75 million listed rated senior unsecured redeemable debentures, each priced 100 rupees, with an option to issue up to a further 25 million of the said debentures in the event of an oversubscription of the initial issue. Subscription list of the issue will be officially opened on the 18th of February. That was business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Cabinet Minister this week gave permission to allocate the land plots to 22 investors from 8 industrial zones to initiate their projects worth over 24 billion rupees, which are expected to generate 3,326 direct employment opportunities. The proposal was submitted by the Cabinet Minister to Industries Minister Vimal Veeravangsa. Accordingly, land plots will be given on a 35-year lease basis for 22 investors under the Regional Industrial Zone Development Program implemented by the Industries Ministry. That is economic news.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on to the weather. Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. The misty conditions can be expected in the central, Sabaragamu and Ua provinces and the Golem district in the morning tomorrow. And back to the headlines of the news. The Prime Minister seeks the views of the Mahasangha on the Geneva resolution. State Intelligence head goes to court against human rights lawyer Yasmin Zuka. One minister said that environmental studies not paying attention to the Krudia Zelenka tree has led to many issues. CID concludes investigations into the central bank bond scam. It well knew the head of the UK Genetic Surveillance Program predicts Kent coronavirus variant could become the world's dominant strain. Sports news. The president of the Tokyo 20 Olympics Organizing Committee offers to resign. That is the news, and over to the lady on the other side of the glass panel. Sound it home to keep you entertained this Thursday night. Over to you, Towndy.